Well, you know, there are a lot of sure things in this world, but two of them are that there'll always be honky-tonks in Texas, and there'll always be the legend of Finley Ewing. He joined our board in the late 70s. So my memories of Finley are a guy who rushed in and really wanted to get started being a part of this organization. In the early 80s, there weren't many hospitals or healthcare organizations thinking about fitness. You know, this whole concept of fitness was new to hospitals. You know, we are basically built around sick care, not health care. But again, Finley saw the opportunity, and so as we went through the planning and design and construction of this facility, we all started getting a sense that this was going to make a difference in people's lives. And we started talking about this concept of a fitness center, a place where people could go and gain not only strength from illness or sickness they've had, but also hopefully prevent those things in the future. And so it was a creative idea, and as we brought it forward, he got connected to it. It has been a remarkable asset for this community, and we take it back to Finley and his forward thinking. As I was with him, and I learned a lot about how his life was led and the experiences he had growing up in South Texas, and his life in San Antonio, and his life in Dallas, and getting to know his family. And he was a great teacher and mentor, whether it was hunting or you know, going to football games, or being with his family and my family together. All of these things were things that influenced me. He even influenced me in the glasses I wore. These are Finley glasses. You know, you'd see him in a lot of pictures, and he'd have a big set of glasses on, and you know, sure enough, one day I found some glasses that were going to be Finley glasses, and put them on, and I wear them occasionally, and I have good memories of him. I mean, if there are things that I remember most about Finley, was he asked penetrating questions, and they were always practical, and they were always ones that were searching for the real depth of an issue. Mr. Ewing would ask me if I would invite some physicians to go down to their ranch in South Texas and spend a couple of days enjoying the outdoors, hunting and fishing and just being together. And so it was a great pleasure for many physicians on the medical staff of Presbyterian Hospital of Dallas to be invited for that few days to be the guest of Finley Ewing. And he planned it all. I mean, like I say, when he was the host, he had everything planned from the time we got up to the ingredients in every gin fizz. So he never missed a trick, and when we would sit down for dinner, he was the one who would ask the questions. He loved physicians. He spent not only his time in the boardroom, but visiting with nurses, visiting with patients. Finley loved the hospital. And he loved the hospital because it was full of people. And Finley, any place he was, he never met a stranger. They could be the person sweeping the floor to the most influential person you know, in the country. And many times when we were together, his first conversation was with the person who was probably the frontline employee, whether it was in his car dealership or whether it was in our hospital or here at the CVC. Wherever it was, he wanted to make them feel good and feel important, and that's the way his life was. Even when he suffered, which he did a lot in different physical ailments, he never complained. He always was upbeat, always talking to the people who cared for him. His remarkable wife, Gail, his three children, Francis, Jim, and Finn, they were always part of what he was doing. He was highly influential to everybody that was around him, and they liked being around Finley because he was jovial, he was outgoing, he had great ideas. Finley's mentality is let's get out there in front. Let's do something that really will make a difference in our community. Finley Ewing Cardiovascular and Fitness Center, albeit not the first in the country, was very close to being one of the first in the country. And we had visitors from all over the world come here to see this facility because of its uniqueness. That in itself was a tremendous influence. And we know that by virtue of this facility being here and what it has done through the years, that a lot more centers of this type were created across the country and connected with hospitals and health systems. As I look out over the floor of the Cardiovascular Center here that Finley was so influential in creating, I see people exercising and enjoying themselves doing that. I remember my own times here, of which I'd walk the track and use the weight machines and be engaged with the people and play some racquetball. And every time I was engaged here, I was thinking about Finley and what a remarkable idea he had with us to create this center that's had such influence on our community. So this is a legacy for Mr. Ewing and his family. It's more than a structure, more than a room with lots of equipment. It's a fellowship. And that fellowship has gone on and on for years and years. And there are many people who have made friends here, which would have been something that Finley would have loved to know, that these people that come here every day just don't walk in, change their clothes, exercise, change their clothes, and walk out. That they spend time around a coffee table, that they spend time, walking the track together, and that ultimately this place has made a difference in people's lives.